Not yet.
Hello, everybody. It's Charles Vest, and I am here on Hangout number 2. And it's really great to be here because, I made a commitment, and one of the biggest things about success is 80% of it is actually showing up. And so I said I'd be here every night for the Hangout, and here I am, and I am not alone. I have lots of friends with me tonight, as well as all of you that are out there listening. And if by a show of hands you could do me a favor and just raise your hand if this is your first time. You really think I can see you? That's pretty funny. So anyway, I appreciate you raising your hands. This is going to be a lot of fun, a lot of information, but it's really about some serious business about a company called Canaway that is opening its doors very, very soon. We have a buzz launch coming on. We have a lot of great things to talk about. And this particular, let's just call it 45 minutes to an hour, is going to be all about helping you get other people involved in the Canaway experience. And so what I want to start off with first is to do a little bit of the State of the Union. I'm going to ask Christopher Hussey to come online and tell us a little bit about how we look right now. So, Christopher, can you tell us how we look?
What's up, Charles? We have 200 people watching the live stream right now.
Okay.
And in the deal, so last night in Canaway we had about 5,000 people. We currently have, are you ready for this number, guys? 6,528 members of a company that started 48 hours ago.
Terrific. Yay. So welcome, everybody. Congratulations, everybody. It's really because of you that we are growing that fast. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of be your MC tonight. And my position is Vice President of Communications for one of the parent companies, which is called Hemp Meds. And we have a buzz that's going on around our office right now, and it's all about you. It's all about the Canaway launch that's happening here. Everyone wants to know, what is this thing? How can this be so exciting? I have an MLM that's going to be one of the first legal cannabis MLMs ever, and I'm going to tell you right now, will be the most successful, too, that ever happens. And you know why? It's because of some of the people that are here on our Hangout with us. And so I'm going to go ahead and, without any real particular order, I'm going to start, bringing some of these folks to the forefront of our Hangout. And so we're going to start out with, since I see her beautiful face on my screen right now, we're gonna be turning over to Monty. And Monty Patterson is out there in Ohio, where they just had an absolute anomaly happen today in Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself, because it actually did not snow today in Ohio for one day, and so she's pretty happy about that. And so I'm going to turn it over to Monty. Tell us a little bit, Monty, about what's exciting about this for you, this opportunity, and we're going to share more and more about it. But really, most people know that this is a cannabis-based MLM. But if you wouldn't mind sharing, why would that even interest you, Monty? I mean, you're a straight-laced person. You go to church all the time. I know you're not, a person that's, smoking, bliffs all day long or whatever. And so tell us a little bit about why would a legal cannabis network appeal to you?
Well, that's a great question, Charles. Thank you so much for asking that. First of all, when you first told me, I had a question just like everyone else does. What is this? What is the difference here? My first question was, wait a minute, are we talking about marijuana here? Are we talking about something else? And my curious mind always is interested in doing research. And so when you share it with me that we are actually not dealing with marijuana, but that we were actually dealing with hemp, and you share it with me that we are more importantly dealing with an amazing compound within the hemp plant called CBD, of course I had to go home and research. And the more I researched, the more I found out, and the more excited I got. When I found out that every human being and every animal has an entire system in their body with receptors for CBD. It got me very excited when I started looking at YouTube and doing my independent research, and I just knew that this would literally be the biggest thing I've ever participated in my entire life. You see, never before in history have I ever, and I don't think you have ever, and I don't really think we will be again, be in a position where A, we're dealing with something that the entire world is talking about, B, everyone that you know needs it. Every child, every adult, every grandparent needs CBD. Why? Because CBD has a way, an incredible way of communicating with your cells to take what's going wrong and help to make it right again. And I'm a bit of a nerd, guys, so I love reading pharmacology and things like that just for fun. But when I realized that and I understood that this is 100% legal, I understood that people all across the world are saying, listen, we want medical marijuana, we want it legal. But the question is, why? Why do they want it legal? They're looking for the health benefits. We are literally able to now say we have figured out a technology on not only how to extract the health portion of the plant, but how to get the highest concentration in the world of the plant. Nobody will be able to say that, and to learn that we are at least 2 to 3 years ahead of anybody else, any competition, from a financial standpoint, from a health and wellness standpoint, from an advocacy standpoint, from a mission-based standpoint. We couldn't be at a better place than we are right now. It's truly mission-based marketing at its finest. We're going to be able to change lives when you're seeing little kids become well again, when you're seeing people that have cancers and other things become well again, when you learn that CBD actually causes cancer cells to commit suicide, and so many more. Anything that has its root in systemic inflammation, CBD helps. Those are things I get really excited about because I'm a health and wellness nut. I love reading things like that. And the more I learned, the more I thought to myself, why would I ever do anything else? This is literally the greatest opportunity, period. And it used to be that it was cliche. Everyone would kind of say that in this industry, you know, we've never seen anything like it, but now truly you haven't. This is not a me too. Not only is it not a me too, but this is better than anything that I have ever seen. You gave a great analogy before when you shared about scurvy and how scurvy was a disease that nobody could find a cure for. And it was simply found when some sailors accidentally brought some oranges onto a ship and began to eat them. The scurvy disappeared. It was simply a deficiency. Now we understand why CBD is so effective. All these years, except for until this were breastfed, I remember hearing that CBD actually naturally forms in a mother's milk. Now when you understand that if we've been going all this time without the nutrients that this essential entire system in our body hasn't had, now when it gets these nutrients, we're starting to see everything begin to right itself again. We aren't making any kind of claims or anything like that. But when you ask me that kind of question, I can talk for a very long time. And that's why a person like me, who puts compassion over politics and over opinions, and who's brave enough to say, we have to help people. We have to do something about this. We have to tell people the truth, and we have to do it now. I could not say no to this. As a matter of fact, it made it so compelling, I couldn't say yes to anything else.
You know what, Monty? I can hear all that passion in your voice. I can see it in your face, and I have to at least, you know, make one thing clear for everybody here. Sometimes we get over passionate about what we find, you know, when we do the research, and I love you to death for it. But the number one thing we gotta let everyone know, here at Canaway, we do not make any claims of our product. We don't claim to, you know, treat or prevent or cure or diagnose any type of disease, whether it's big or small. All we are is a food. As far as what we provide, we provide a food. We provide a plant that everyone has heard about, and this plant that is the core source of this food has been around for, well, I believe it's 10,000 years, but let's just go back 2,000 or 5,000 years when, you know, it was actually talked about, you know, in the original scriptures and all of that. And so, you know what, folks, what we have is we have a compound, and that compound is called CBD. And when you do your research, you're going to find out that there is a lot of great information about CBD, and the research alone, the information alone will stand on its own. And so, folks, when you see this information, Monty did a great example, because same thing happens to me. I get so excited about this. I want to say things, but look, folks, we're going to be so straight-laced. We're going to be so compliant. Monty, I am verbally reaching out and putting the zipper on your lips, because that was a little bit over the top on that first explanation. but it's perfect because we all get that way. And so just keep in mind, we don't make any claims. We don't even associate any diseases with it. And you know, you guys have all seen the Sanjay Gupta, or many of you have seen the Sanjay Gupta special, you know, where he was, you know, he had his one opinion on medical cannabis, and then he changed his mind because of what a CBD strain did for a little girl, and she was having a lot of seizures. Well, that's fantastic. Let that be the message, and refer people to watch that, because the people will make up their own minds when they see that. And so anyway, very excited. I'm excited. I did the same thing. I did my research when I saw this product, you know, and I said, man, I mean, I don't know if I could work with this company. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to get excited about it, but you know me, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I'm like the cleanest, you know, whistle guy on the planet. You know, I even look at what the ingredients are in toothpaste. I mean, I'm really that way. And you know, why would I associate myself with CBD? Well, it's because CBD is an amazing, safe, non-psychoactive compound, and you guys are going to learn a lot more about it. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to, let's see here, Bob, are you there? I see you in here. So I'm going to turn this over to Bob. I want you to tell us a little bit about why you would choose to work with Canaway. You know, we don't have a compensation plan laid out for everybody to see. We don't have a full website laid out for everyone to see. We don't have a major blog out there. We're just kind of talking about what we have, and still you are excited about what we're doing. So tell us a little bit about why you're excited already.
Well, Charles, I appreciate being here with everybody, and I did appreciate meeting everybody out there in San Diego with the last meeting, and I really look forward. I'm going to get the pitch in here. I hope that everybody within the sound of our voice and faces can, you know, make the event out there in San Diego. It's really something to behold, because I'll tell you, and I'll tell you why I kind of was so excited about this, but. And I'm going to just kind of relate to like what Monty said and what you said. You know, I don't smoke. I do have a little drink now and then. I'm just saying that. But I come from a very straight-laced background too. And when this was presented to me and they said cannabis-based, I said, oh, you've got to be kidding. I got to find out more, because part of my experience, I'm 26 years in the network marketing industry, and you know, I've been very blessed to have, you know, failed forward successfully, dragging other people with me over the years. But you know, I've learned a lot, and I've been very blessed to hit, you know, some really good levels in companies and in consulting. And the one thing I've always learned is to never don't assume. You're going to hear about a product. I made an assumption with a company one time about a particular ingredient that was a super juice, and I passed on it. That's one of those situations that was basically $1 million mistake. And so one of the things I've learned, and I want to try and kind of talk to some folks out here, is you may be looking at this being slightly skeptical like I was. Just keep your mind open. Listen to what everybody's got to say here. Do the research like Monty said and Charles said. Just please do that, because I did. Trust me, I was not interested. But what did it for me is, even though, as you said, Charles, we don't have all of the components. I know what the components will be like, but when it comes from me, and this may be, I know we have a lot of folks listening who may be in the industry a long time, who have never been in the industry, or somewhere in between. I've kind of defined the selection process for really evaluating any opportunity, company, whatever it is, down to 5 key components. Now, some of my colleagues here will say, there he goes again, but this has worked all the time. And I call it the 5 Ps, and I hope folks will write it down. And I'm going to just try and, I'll be very short. I'll show you how they connect here and why I feel that with Canaway, it really is firing on all cylinders. Now, first of all, the first P in my formula is the people. And who are the people behind the company? Who are the people who started the company? Who are the people who are bringing what we have here? And when you take the time, like I have done, to research the entire structure of the company here, and everyone has been so very open and transparent, everything from you yourself, Charles, to Chris, and I know Chris for some time, and Jeff and Troy and the gang, and my buddy Billy over there, who's not looking at the camera right now. When you start to look at you know, success leaves clues, so you look at the people who get together and you go, well, that tells you something. And when I did my vetting of the people here, I said, wow, these guys they got to know what they're doing. They're tops in their industry and tops at what they do. Everything from the parent company all the way through here. So the P, the first P is people. The second P is product. There's a lot of companies out there. And I'm not going to pick on any about the pills, potions, lotion, shakes, coffees, or anything, but I just did. I've probably done them all or consulted with them all, and they're great. But for me, I feel, and if some of us who've been in the industry for a while understand that sometimes that best product is a disruptive product. And I know I have a lot of colleagues on here in different companies. If we've got a Me Too product, you're going to have Me Too results. You're going to have Me Too people. And it becomes this circular reasoning where people are kind of jumping from pill to shake to skincare to skincare. But when I saw the concept of the CBD, and Monty, like you, I did the research. I went forever. I read the patent. Totally blew my mind. But when I looked at the concept of looking where we are in this industry with one of my other Ps here, is this product is disruptive. It's something that no one has seen before. It's something that has not been done before. And when you have that, that is really wild. Because you're going to talk to some people, and they're going to say, I'm very, you're going to talk about it, and you're going to say, well, I'm kind of against it, or I'm kind of for it. But you know what? They're going to talk about it. We have the best press now because this product, this concept of product with the CBD, and again, the research you can do yourself, is something I have never seen before. And that means we can have something we've never seen before. So we've got the people behind it. We've got this really disruptive product. And the other P that I always talk about is the pay plan. Now, I know, Charles, you said it best. We don't necessarily have the full structure written out, but after talking with yourself and with Jeff, just on the broad strokes, I know this is going to be a very well-balanced, well-paid, well-structured plan that is sustainable. There's a lot of companies out there that don't do that. That's one thing I want to stress to everybody. I know that the gang is going to bring out some great materials here. But I can guarantee you from the professional, the people, I know that this pay plan is going to be sustainable and last for a long time. So you get the people, the product, the pay plan. And the last two is really the philosophy. That's the fourth P. Philosophy is, what is this company about? Everybody I've met in this company and all the leaders who are coming on board, the philosophy here is very unusual compared to what I see in the industry of, look at me, I want the big car, the big house, look at me, neener, neener, neener. I've seen more people talking about what the ingredient can do. No claims, Charles. We're just talking about the research people can do and look up. And it's become something I've never seen. I'm seeing people just who would never do this industry. Trust me, there's a lot out there who go, my gosh, look at what this ingredient can do. Look what this concept can do. And they're just so interested. And so we've got a philosophy, again, which is very disruptive. And that's a good thing. But all on that, even with the proper people, the proper product, the pay plan, and the philosophy, one thing we've got now is what I call positioning. That's the fifth P. And the positioning means what I would guess the word is the zeitgeist. What is going on in the world, in the industry, in the news, and in the country. We're seeing an amazing thing that I would have never seen. Look, if I'm going to be 50 years old in May, and I remember going in saying that, watching the health class things of, what's that, reefer madness, and it's going to do, from the 30s, and they all said, don't even walk near it. I've seen an awakening, and we're seeing states and people take real responsibility for themselves. I'm a bit of a libertarian, so I'm kind of like say that's great. But right now, we are at the front of a wave that's beginning to happen from a political, regulatory, and a marketing fashion that I think has got a way to really buoy this and push what we have here in Canada even further than we would have if it was just a traditional product. So when you really tie all those five things together, I have not seen anything with this sort of, combination before. And I couldn't say no to it. I really couldn't. And trust me, I have a lot of other, projects in consulting and marketing that I'm doing. I dropped some because I said we're in the right place with the right time, with the right people, product, pay plan, philosophy, and positioning. So I don't want to go on any further. I can, but a pleasure to work here with everybody. And Charles, I'm going to throw it back to you, and I want to hear what everybody else has to say.
All right, I caught it, and I'm ready to take over from there. I love the way that you explained it. You made it very clear, all the P's. and I'm sure we could think of about 10 more P's to throw in there, but right now, what I want to do is, what I want to tell you the purpose of this call. Then I'm going to be bringing on Troy Neihart, and the purpose of this call, of this hangout, is, we're doing this every night, okay, all the way from now until the 1st, and we have a big buzz launch happening on the 1st in San Diego. This is really going to be the first opportunity to actually get knees to knees with all of these great, excited people. Now, we have done something very unique here, and we have asked for the counsel. You can get advice, you can get counsel, and I've learned from some of the highest thinkers and the highest motivators on the planet is what you look for is you look for counsel. And so we've asked for counsel from about 60 individuals, and all of them are 7-figure income earners. And we asked them to fly into San Diego and look at what we were considering doing, look at what we were laying out. And the results were unprecedented. I would say 99%, and we still don't know about that one guy because we haven't got a hold of him, but I'd say 99% of the folks not only liked what we had to say, wanted to be involved. Just stop everything they're doing, figure out an exit strategy, and come on board. And one of the reasons why is, like Bob said, was the people. And Troy is a person that coordinated all of that. He's been the one that has really driven our concept, to be able to take it from thought to actuality. Troy has been the person behind the scenes for about a year pulling this together, and I couldn't think of a better captain of the ship. He drives it very hard and very strong and very straight and very fast, and that's what you want out of a leader. And so I don't know exactly what you want to talk about, Troy. I know the sky's the limit, but I'm going to turn it over to you to let us know a little bit about your thoughts on why people should be involved with Canaway. Except I don't hear you. Looks like, Troy, you're muted. Let's try to unmute you.
I'm unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Now we got you, buddy.
Awesome. Well, hopefully I'm not too loud with the background noise. I'm at the UFC fights with a good friend of ours, Mike Julian, at his house. But extremely excited with everything that we have going on here, and I definitely wanted to step away from the fights just to be on this hangout. So, it's extremely exciting to, a year ago to sit down with a lot of the investment group people and everything, and them to show to us, and I immediately called you about 30 minutes into that conversation, Charles, and said, come pinch me, let me know if this is real or not real. And, so hemp is coming back with everything that President Obama just did and signed the Farm Bill, and we're bringing it home to the U.S. We're going to be able to help to bring the economy back to a whole new place. We're also going to be able to make the world a much more sustainable place as well. And super, super exciting part of this is yes, we're launching with just 2 products, and as some people will say, they're super sexy products, and that I do have to agree with. But we have so many more things that are going to be coming out. We have over 70 different products currently in product development right now, and our entire goal is to bring them into the network and really just drive our entire business model now through the network. So that's what excites me the most, is that I know that the sky's the limit in what we can do. We're never going to run out of new and exciting products to launch. And the business model is just not going to, it's not going to get stagnant. It's not going to get stale. It's not going to be like you're in, lotions, potions, and everything else, and nothing against that if that's the business model that you like. But unfortunately, I've done that before. I got bored super quick, and I think that's one of the most exciting things to me is I know that my personality is never going to it's not going to get stagnant and stale here. And I mean, Charles, you're with me on a daily basis, and I think we're working 7 days a week, and for the last year now, and you see it on a daily basis. So that's what excites me the most, and I know we're going to be able to deliver and bring what we promise to the people that are involved with us.
Hey, Troy, before I let you go back to the fight, which I wasn't invited to, so please let Mike know that I have to get an invite next time. I will drive that 100 miles and go see him up there. But anyway, if you wouldn't mind, you talked to a lot of the very high-end 7-figure income earners that came over and took a look at what we had to offer, and you spent a lot of quality time with them. And what was it that you kind of heard as far as the overwhelming message from those income earners that have already been at the top of so many comp plans? What was that you heard from them as what excited them about our products and services?
Well, you know, we're sitting in a unique position. We have the hottest product in the market with the topic and the conversation that's occurring nationwide, just not in California or Colorado or Washington. I mean, this is you know, it's so much bigger than that, as well as it's global as well. So, you know, we're able to position leaders in front of something that the industry currently doesn't have. So that was one of the big things, and also, you know, with what Christopher Hussey, you know, has partnered up with us on, in bringing a marketing system and a tool suite that the company itself is going to provide the best of the best, and you're not going to have to go out and try to find it elsewhere and pull a bunch of things together to run and have a successful team. So, you know, those two things right there, I think, is what's going to position us ahead of everybody else. And, you know, also our comp plan. I am very confident in saying that with what we have, I don't think anybody's going to dislike with what we have. You know, we pulled a lot of different things together and really have a super unique hybrid comp plan that's going to, you know, bring a lot to the table for people.
Thank you very much, Troy, and I'm glad you brought that up because, and I'm gonna let you go, and I'm gonna be switching over to Billy in just a second. You know, we already have a comp plan locked and loaded. I mean, even though we say that you haven't seen it yet, that's because we've gone over it, we've checked it, we've sent it to legal, we've gone back through it, we've sent it to other consultants, and we've just really worked on making sure that our comp plan was going to be, you know, the best of all worlds, not just in the front, the middle, or the back, but all worlds. But right now, a news flash, Hemp Fest, or what is it called that you're at there, Billy? What's it called?
Hemp Aid.
Hemp Aid.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting here. All the people here are coming to support industrial hemp, and it's absolutely mind-blowing to see all these people that are excited about, you know, the movement that's happening with industrial hemp. And a lot of them know about CBD. You know, we walk up to a lot of them walk up to us, and we ask them, you know, do you know about CBD? And almost half of them say yes. We've researched it. We've looked at it. You guys are the ones that we saw on that special. You know, we watched the Sanjay Gupta special, or we saw you on another special. And everybody's excited, I mean, about cannabidiol and what's happening inside of the nation right now, and I think what's about to happen inside the world. Canaway is going to be that arm, I really believe, to get to the masses, to shift that consciousness even quicker, and to get products that, you know what, people not only want but they need in their hands in a shorter amount of time, and make people a little bit happier, a little bit healthier, maybe even a little bit wealthier.
Very well said. And, you know, with you out there, it's kind of like you're the man on the street right now. And, you know, maybe you should interview one of the customers that are coming up to the booth or something. So
if you swing back to me, maybe I'll grab somebody.
All right, I'll look. If I see you have somebody with you, we might just do that. Why not? Hey, Billy, thank you so much for what you're doing out there. And I know they just opened the doors, so we'll keep an eye on you on the live feed here, and I'll get back to you in a little bit. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take it back to the captain at the controls, the person who's monitoring the leaderboard and also putting out all the information for us. Now, folks, we never do justice when we talk about Christopher Hussey. We never provide enough information for you to realize how strong, how amazing, how blessed we are to have Christopher Hussey on our team. And I remember, you know, when I met Christopher, it was a Sunday, and I was called by a friend, Brent, and Brent said, Charles, if you can do anything, please, you've got to help me talk to this super stud of internet marketing, of network marketing, and of motivational speaking. You've got to help me talk to this stud. I'm like, who is this stud you're talking? He said, this guy, Christopher Hussey. So I started, who's Christopher Hussey? And he says, you don't have any time to look him up. You just got to come because I cannot talk to him. I don't know how to talk to and approach to someone who's as high up on the chain as Chris Hussey. So I threw on my sports coat, my business jacket, and flew down to the resort there on the ocean where Christopher was, and you know, I shook his hand and his partner's hand, and you know what I found out? I found out that you, Chris, are just a regular guy. You know, I mean, even though you've had huge amounts of success, you have this amazing software that we're working with, and everybody wanted to get their hands on at that event. I'm just really impressed by the fact that you can have so much going for you, but also that you're a normal person. And it was really a pleasure meeting you about, I don't know, 6 months ago. And so anyway, I know I'm doing a long-winded introduction for you, but like I said, we never can do you justice. We just appreciate to have you on the team. And tell us a little bit about the State of the Union right now, my friend.
I got to sit up a little straighter after that introduction. I mean, my goodness, guys, we have we're just right there, like a tip. You guys need, if you're watching this, you need to go invite somebody to the Hangout, because we're right, like, on the cusp of getting 600 viewers on the live stream. Now let me put that into perspective. It's Saturday night, guys. It's Saturday night, and there are 586 people who are watching this live stream right now. I mean, that's just, it boggles the mind. If I refresh the page, and I've been sitting here watching it go up, 6,581 people in Canaway right now. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. If I refresh the page, the actual Hangout page, I want to this is amazing. We have 712 comments on our Hangout page between last night and tonight. Guys, Charles, the State of the Union is good.
Very well said, my friend Chris, and thanks again for everything that you're doing over there. Now, we've been at this for about 30 minutes, and I'm just going to let the next 1, 2, 3, possibly 4 speakers know that 30 minutes is going to come real fast, and so you're going to hear me speed up the pace here, everybody. And we had a comment that Chris brought to our attention that our last Hangout was a little bit laid back, and people were saying, man, are they taking a little bit too much CBD on that way they're acting? And so I'm letting you know that CBD is live and kicking, and my brain is working very, very well. And so I want to turn it over to Gina. Gina is one of the new people that have actually just found out about our products and found it out through Monty. And every single call that I've assisted with Monty with out there, she's done lots of calls. Gina's been like the first person that was there 10 minutes early and stayed 10 minutes late. And so I want to turn it over to you, Gina, and I just quickly let us know about who you are. Are you a single mom or family member, whatever, and why you're interested in CBD and what got you really excited.
Okay, well, first of all, I'm an old lady. Now, when I say that, don't misunderstand, but I'm pretty sure that I'm older than all of you. And Monty and I have been friends for a couple of years. I've been involved in a lot of multi-level businesses, and I am definitely a family woman. We've got 4 sons that are grown, about 6 grandkids, and I'm actually helping raise one of them. She's out of the house tonight, luckily, or she'd be running behind me here. But we're busy in this house. And I also, and I don't want to get into trouble here, Charles, but I have severe rheumatoid arthritis and osteoarthritis and fibromyalgia. And when you look at me, you can't really tell unless you look really close, and my fingers are a little bit crooked, and I need some help sometimes getting out of a chair. But when Monty sent me the first initial email about this product, I initially got excited because I grew up in the 60s. Now, I got to be honest with you. I never smoked marijuana. I was probably around people that did. I am totally, totally naive about marijuana. But I do know, I've heard, and a lot of people have said to me, Gina, why don't you smoke some marijuana, because it might just help you feel better. So I know that there's some health benefits to it. So when Monty sent me the initial email, that definitely caught my attention. And like you said, Charles, the first call that she did, I was 15 minutes late for because I was at an event. As soon as I got in the car, I dialed that number, and I was on the last few minutes of the call. I got home, and I mentioned to my 32-year-old son about the possibilities of what I might be doing, and he just kind of looked at me a little bit funny. I mentioned it to my husband, and my husband had a few questions, and I thought, okay, I got to call Monty right now. So I did, and we had a really good conversation. Now, as you guys, I'm just a typical housewife. I mean, I've got a lot of things going on in my life. I don't have a lot of time to spend on the computer and do research. But man, that's all I've been doing is researching. And I know, Charles, I asked you this on the phone, one of the first calls that Monty did. I want some now. And I am so anxious. I know. Luckily, we've only got a week now, and I am so anxious because I can guarantee you, I know I'm going to feel better. I'm on very nasty medicines that cause side effects, and I don't want to use them anymore. And a lot of people are kind of looking at me that I've talked to and said, you know what, if it helps you, I'm in. Now, on the other hand, I have a lot of people who say, cannabis, I'm in. So it's actually been pretty easy. And I got to tell you another really quick story.
Okay, make it quick.
I'm not going to name names, but I have a friend that I'm doing business with, and I've been talking to her a lot about this because I know she would really be good at doing it, and I know she's busy. She hasn't responded. I'm getting frustrated because I want to make sure she gets in. She gets in. Well, her husband got in. And like I said, I'm not going to say any names, but man, here I am, a 65-year-old, almost 65-year-old, recruiting 28 years old to sell cannabis. And I am loving it. I'm loving that little story. So
thank you so much, and I love hearing your testimonial, and I'm going to really love hearing your testimony, your personal testimony after you get the products. You are so close to getting the products, and I can't wait to hear it from you. Thank you so much for joining us and being part of what we're doing. And I think I see a pool table in the background there. I'm definitely gonna be playing on that pool table one day. So what I want to do is I'm going to be bringing on Mary Lou in just a second. But one of the things that Gina said is that people get excited about the cannabis industry off the bat. I mean, if you say, hey, I'm part of one of the first legal cannabis network marketing opportunities ever to come to the world. People, a lot of times that's all you have to say, and from that point on, people are trying to interrupt you by saying, "Okay, I'm in. I want in. This sounds great. Please let me do it." And it's because the world is talking about cannabis. The world is talking about legalization of marijuana. The world is now learning about hemp, especially with the signing of the Farm Bill. And now the United States has the ability to grow hemp finally again. And but see, the good news is that we've been growing hemp for this purpose, for CBD, for over 6 years, and we got it down, folks. And so we love the fact that the United States is finally going to allow us to grow it here in the country. And sooner or later, when someone says cannabis, what the next response is going to be is, well, which one? Are we talking marijuana or are we talking hemp? Because, if we're talking marijuana, then I know we're talking about the psychoactive effects of cannabis primarily. We're talking about, getting high and higher. And there's some medicinal aspects, of course. But, usually when you separate the two and you're looking for THC, you're going to look on the marijuana side. Now, when you're looking for CBD, and you'll find out more and more about it, you're going to look on the hemp side. And when you look, you're going to find out that our product, when you compare it to anything else that's out there, our product is so far light years ahead of the potency aspect of CBD cannabidiol, which is what everything is infused with that we have, all the way from our topicals to our anti-aging that we're coming out with, and a lot of people got a sample of that, and it's just mind-blowing how great and natural these products are, and also our hemp vape. And so we're gonna have someone talk about the hemp vape in a second. I got Seth to bring that up to speed for us, but right now I'm going to switch it over to Mary Lou. Mary Lou, are you there?
I am here. Thank you so much, Charles. I won't take but a few minutes because my story is really, honestly, going to be going back to 2011. I received a phone call from a really, really good friend that had gotten a call from another friend asking about hemp. Now, I didn't know what hemp was, and she knew that my personality is to research. So she said, I know that you will find out the answer. So I got involved in hemp in 2011. I researched and researched and researched. I could not believe what I was reading about how the government had not allowed it and all the benefits and everything that went into hemp. So I have been so involved mentally and wanting one day for something to happen with the hemp that when I met you last year in Vegas and we were talking, and I will have to say I'm going to talk about the leadership here. Charles Vest is the best of the best of the best. So let's just look at who is running this company. When Charles Vest, when I met him, he and I had a long discussion. Then we were in a meeting that when the meeting was over, they asked if anybody had any questions, and can you believe Charles and I were the only two who had questions? Thought that was kind of odd, but Charles's question was phenomenal. And at that point, I've always been good at picking quality people and understanding business people. So I knew that Charles was absolutely a different type of person. So from that, we have been friends, we have worked together, we've been on boards together, we've done all kinds of things together. The other thing is Troy Nonhart is honestly the guy that you want at your back. He is brilliant. No question, he's young, he has the energy, but he has what it takes to make a decision and go with it. And if you don't like it, then that's just pretty tough because he's going to make the right decision based on everybody, the whole company, the whole team. I've had the opportunity to work with him, and I mean work with him closely, and we've had some pretty tight discussions about business and how you run a business and the operation of a business. Troy Nonhart, to me, when I knew that he was in the position he was in, I didn't even question it. And with Charles, with Monty, we've had many, many, many calls, work together and have been on boards, and just knowing that she is one of the most honest, most brilliant, I can't even say, this is unbelievable to me, the people that are running this company. So even if it wasn't the hemp, the people running the company would be a winner. It wouldn't make any difference. But when you put the hemp with it, then it's going to explode. So nobody had to ask me. I asked myself. So it wasn't did somebody have to sell me on hemp. I was sold on hemp in 2011 and totally shocked that we were not able to have this in our country and not be able to have the benefits. So as of today, I have been working with one of the doctors from another island that he has been working with hemp. Absolutely fascinating. Monty and I have talked with him, and he is, I don't know, I'm so prepared for this that it's just a whole package, everything. So I just want to say to all of you, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. Thank you for friendships. Thank you for your ability and your what it takes to just stay in there and make it happen. But I have followed Charles on Facebook. If anybody goes back and looks at his Facebook, I have been agreeing with him ever since he's been on Facebook. I know he wonders why that I always am in there, but it's because I have believed in what he's been doing from ever since I have known him. So I'm so thankful to be here. Thank to all of you. All of you are great, great, great people. And I know that looking back a year from now, we won't believe ourselves what will have been accomplished. So thanks to all of you.
Absolutely. Now, if there's anything more you'd like to say about me, we got 10 more minutes if you want to share more good things. No, I'm just kidding, everybody. Thank you, Mary Lou. We're coming towards the end of the deal, and I really appreciate you. And we're kind of saving one of the best for last, and Seth is there. Now, I told Seth that I was going to profess my love for this guy on camera because I'm saving him for last. He says that he must be my least favorite guy. No, you're my most favorite guy, Seth, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say about what's going on with Canaway and why you're excited and what you're telling folks about it, and I am saving the best for last, and that is you, my friend. So please let us know what's on your mind.
Well, thanks, Charles. I appreciate you saying that, even if it's not true. Very cool, very cool.
It is.
I'll tell you what, I had some stuff planned to say, and I'm modifying it now because I got a few text messages from Jeff Rogers, our CEO, who I had chatted with this morning, and I was telling him a little bit of my strategy and some of the companies that I've built in the past as a CEO of a few other network marketing companies, and he wanted me to share some of that with you guys today. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I like to do, and everybody builds a little bit differently. So however you're building this company, whatever your strategy is, I want you to spend a good few hours thinking about it before you just hop on the phone and hop on Facebook and start blasting it out there. I want you to think a little bit about how you're going to build. And in fact, if you notice, you won't see my name anywhere near the top of the leaderboard. In fact, I may never show up on the leaderboard. I have 9 personal sponsored people in the company, just so you know. And that's by strategy for me. Now, some people are going to go and they're going to sponsor 500, 1,000 people. There are going to be internet marketers who come into this that sponsor absolute tons of people, and that's a great strategy. There's going to be people who come and go belly-to-belly network marketing, old school style, get on the phone and call people. That's great too. I'm going to tell you about a little strategy that I've used to combine offline marketing and online marketing with folks to really build a very strong team. So if you do happen to have sort of a hybrid organization where you know some people that are in internet marketing and you know some people that are in offline network marketing, belly to belly, you can really combine those two to create a strong organization. So if you're going to bring in somebody who is a internet marketer, one of the things I've done with them in the past is I team them up with 3 people that I know that are really good on the phone, people that are very personable, some of the folks that are here on this Google Hangout, that kind of person who's really good with guiding people and directing people, because here's your disconnect. Somebody signs up on the internet, they click a link, they join, right? Nobody contacts them, nobody gets on the phone with them, they get these emails perhaps, but they're not really understanding the direction of the company, the importance of CBD, why it's important to be on these Google Hangouts, on the training calls, that sort of thing, the belief in the product, the understanding of the compensation plan. There's a little bit of a disconnect there. If you enroll 5,000 people on the internet as an internet marketer, that's awesome. How do you retain them? Here's what I do. I bring in an internet marketer, and when I bring them in, I assign 3 network marketers directly underneath them, and I have those people be sponsored by that internet marketer. Now, as they bring in their 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 personal sponsorships, I have the internet marketer hand off personal enrollments to the people that they've enrolled. So they set there's a little rotator, they can set a link rotator where it spits out the personals to all the people in their group. Now what happens is I have the network marketers call those people up and say, welcome to the program. We know you found our link on Facebook, on Google, on YouTube, whatever it was, and we're glad you did. But this is not an impersonal deal. We're here to guide you and help you out to build a strong team. Now what happens naturally for the internet marketer is that somebody who might have been in the program for about 3 months and not understood it, maybe lost belief, they quit. There's a lot of attrition. So you bring in 5,000 people as an internet marketer, you lose 2,000 people who didn't really understand the program the way that they wanted to. Instead, if you structure it this way, if you are going to work with both types of teams, I highly recommend, and Jeff Rogers, again, asked me to cover this, so I'm doing this because he told me to. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but if you are going to structure your team that way with online and offline, that is a great way to build great synergy between 2 very different types of teams and ensure that you're not just bringing in 5,000 people who are going to quit in 3 months. You're bringing in 5,000 people who can quickly become 10, 20, 50, 100,000 people in your organization. And that kind of a build is going to put you in the $1 million category very, very quickly. Obviously, we're not making income claims. Just want to make that very clear. But we are saying that by building this way, if you're going to combine both types of marketing, that's a really great way to build a very, very strong team and ensure that people are going to stick with you when they found a random link at a random place that they don't have a face to associate with and they don't have a company that's really behind it that they understand. You're going to be able to bring together a very strong team by doing it that way. That's what I'm going to cover today because I'm going to skip everything else I was going to talk about, but I think that's really crucial, and I appreciate Jeff for making me do that. And Charles, thanks for the awesome words, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, and I'm hoping that you're going to come back. Remember, folks, we're going to do this every day for the next 6 days, and so, Seth, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to share what you have to share, and we are looking forward to hearing it. So, as you can see, folks, there's a lot of different ways we can go on our Hangout, and one of the things that I like to stress is that if you pick your Hangouts, like a smorgasbord, pick the ones that the food that you like, leave the other food behind. Someone else will like that food, and you're going to have a different approach. As you can see, we have we don't have the most young panel today. We don't have a bunch of 18-year-olds on the panel today, but tomorrow we might, because this product, this concept that we have appeals to the entire gamut. One of the things that Chuck Yeager shared with me back in the day was that, you want to have a product that you can easily tell your mom and be proud of it, that you can tell your mom, I'm doing this product. You want to be able to offer it to your grandparents, and you want to be able to give it to your children. And this is the type of product that can be consumed all the way up and down the gamut. So you're going to have different demographics, you're going to have different approaches, you're going to have internet marketers, you're going to have belly-to-belly marketers, you're going to have the religious sector that's really going to take off with this. There's a lot of different sectors. You're going to have the women's movement, you're going to have the old guys, the young guys, everything, and including pets in the future. And so you're going to have a lot of people and animals excited about what we're doing. But that excitement happens in different clumps. Okay, one of my strategies has always been to promote for the next event. If that next event is a hangout, then what you need to do is, since this might be the first time that you've been approached or you've seen what's going on, what you want to do is promote the next event. Guess what? The next event is tomorrow at the exact same time that this hangout is on, 7 o'clock Pacific time. You want to promote for the next one. Get everyone to come to this hangout and hear what we have to say. And then you want to promote for the next event. Well, then what you want to do is you want to get everybody together as quick as possible. If you're way out there in one city out there in Ohio, you want to get everyone together, in that area. Well, then there's the bigger events where people actually need to get on a plane and fly in, or find a way to catch a train or swim or whatever, to get to the event. And that's coming up here. And I want to talk about one of those major first events. And I've been in a lot of different deals, and actually I have been in a lot of. I've been in some really successful deals, and one of the things that makes it successful is the fact that I was there the first days. I was there talking to the people as they were looking at the challenges of the day. I was there at the door waiting to go in when they said 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I was there, and I want you to be one of those people there. And so, Chris Hussey, I'm going to actually let you in this hangout by talking about that big event that we have coming up in San Diego, and anything else, like maybe give us another State of the Union as to where we're sitting. So, Chris Hussey, I'm going to have you take it away and in the hangout.
And in the hangout, like end it, like bring it around. Okay, so let's start with a State of the Union. So guys, it is Saturday night, right? And the way these things generally go is you start off and people kind of drift away because the baby's screaming or they got other stuff to do. We have 570 people watching right now. I mean, if you've never actually been on a hangout, 570 is a good number. It's a good number, right? So 570 people. This is the number that I'm excited about. Super. 6,626 people. I don't know. What's the number I said when we got on here? We put like 100 people on since we've been on the hangout, right? 6,000. What did I say? 6,626 people. Guys, Canaway is. I mean, this is it. This is it, right? I knew that my life was going to be amazing in 2014. I actually went into January 1st and I said it's the year of the H. My last name is Hussey, and I said it's the year of the H. And then, boom, here we are. March 1st, right around the corner, next Saturday night. You can go right now, canaway.com/PARTY, canaway.com/party. You go to that URL, it will take you to Eventbrite where you can buy $20 a ticket to come and hang out with us in person next Saturday in San Diego. If you're in California and you don't come, you're out. We're not going to let you be in the deal. I'm kidding, but you just got to get here. We got people literally getting on a plane to fly into San Diego to hang out with us. We're going to have we're going to have an opportunity meeting, right? But you guys never thought I'd actually say that, right? We're actually going to have an opportunity meeting. You can invite anybody you want. So if you know someone who's near and can get to San Diego and you want to get them in the room with some people who know what they're doing to get people to join the opportunity, then opportunity meeting next Saturday night. The very first official kickoff opportunity meeting for Canaway next Saturday in the hotel. Then we're going to break things down. We have a live band. There's a bar. Some really great people. People are flying in from all over, and we're going to have a party. And we're going to show it to the world on Google Hangout. We're going to have other people doing parties all over, showing them as well. And it's literally the official day one of the Canaway Buzz launch. Remember, you guys have probably seen me chatting and running my mouth, right? I said we had so many people wanting to get in that we opened it up early, right? Next Saturday, official day one. So canaway.com/party. Go get your ticket. I think there's about 130 tickets left. All right, we put it up today. It went bam. It sold. So 130 tickets left. So go get your tickets. That's one. And I promised everybody, 2,000 plus people right now in a Facebook group that we started yesterday. Right. So if you're watching this, we have an official Facebook group. It is a secret group. What does that mean? Nobody can actually see it, right? So if you're promoting, kind of behind the scenes and you don't want people to know you're getting your info, nobody will see the information that is inside this group. We do that on purpose. But what that also means is that you can't actually get in. You got to know somebody who's in the group, right? So in order to get in the group, you have to say, hey, I'm in Canaway too. Would you invite me to the group? And they'll invite you to the group, and you'll be in the official Facebook group from Canaway Corporate. The only people that post in the group are Canaway Corporate, so you'll be getting messaging in real time if you're a member of that group. So there's two. And I promised the 2,000 people in that group that tonight on this Hangout, we were going to talk about the power line. Okay? We have gotten, so you see Sugar's managing our Facebook group, and she's giving me the thumbs up, right? She's like, please talk about the power line. All right, guys, here's the power line. We are launching Canaway in two phases. March 1st to March 31st is called the Buzz launch, right? This is the pre-buzz right now, right? Pre-buzz is actually going pretty good, 6,000 plus people, right? So we're launching Canaway March 1st through March 31st. Now I'm going to give you a very basic explanation, and as soon as we're done with this Hangout, inside that Facebook group I am posting a document that you can read about the power line. Sugar's over there just rejoicing, right? So here's what's going to happen. Stay with me, a couple of moving parts. We're going to take all of the commissionable volume that happens in the month of March. March 1st through March 31st. Now the way it's going to happen is on March 1st, that is going to be day one for every single person. All the 6,000 people that are currently in, the other 10,000 and 15,000 that are going to join us before March 1st, right? Because you guys are doing such an amazing job. That is day one. And from that moment, everyone will have 72 hours to make a purchase of one of our 3 launch purchases. You can purchase the salve. I believe it'll be on the document. It's escaping right now. I believe it's $50 for the salve. You can purchase the hemp vape with 2 oils, right? 2 CBDs. Bob Gatchell showing it to you right there. That's $90. So you can get the salve if you want for $50. You can get the hemp vape and 2 oils for $90. Or you can get a combo pack that we put together specifically for the launch for $125. You get the salve, you get the hemp vape, or you can get both for $125. So March 1st, day one, right? Everybody has 72 hours to make that purchase, right? So now let's assume you decide to wait. I wouldn't recommend that, but let's assume that you did. 72 hours comes up. This is the key. You drop to the bottom of the power line. We're not going to boot you. We're not going to kick you out. You still get to hang out with us. You still get to be in all of that. but you just went to the end of the 6,000, 7,000, 10,000, however many. You went to the bottom if you don't make a purchase within 72 hours of one of the 3 amazing launch products that we have. Cool? Everybody good so far? So you didn't buy your product within 72 hours. You went to the bottom. Now here's what you lost when you went to the bottom. The pay plan for March, very specifically, March 1st through March 31st, we're going to take all the commissionable volume and we're going to divide it equally. That's the key. Equally into 12 tiers. Equally. You will fall into whichever tier you correspond to, part 1, based upon the number of people you personally sponsor into Canaway. It starts at 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and it goes up, 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 and the top tier is 34 or more. So 12 tiers from 1 to 3. So if you sponsored 1 to 3 people, you'd be in tier 1. If you sponsored 4 to 6 people, you'll be in tier 2. Each of those 12 tiers will have the exact same amount of money in the tier. So that's part 1, based upon an equal split of all the commissionable volume March 1st to March 31st. Okay? I'm going slow. I'm going to be very clear here. So let's assume that there's $100,000 in that first tier. That's probably a big number, but it's a nice round number to use. Let's say that in that first tier there's $100,000. Okay? Now, we take a second look. The total volume in your power line. So if you had 2 people in your power line, and each of those people spent $50, right? Then your volume would correspond basically to the commissionable volume on $100. Does that make sense? You're in the power line, you got 2 people, right? And they both bought the salve, so your power line would be worth the commissionable volume on $100. Okay? Now let's do a different number. Let's say you had 3,000 people in your power line. And let's say they all bought the salve. Right? 3 times 5 is 15. You're getting the point here, right? There'd be a lot more. And so you will get an equal share of your tier divided by the commissionable volume in your power line. Okay, now I know that's a little hard for some of you to understand. Let me give it an explanation. Let's say that I'm in the deal, and Bob Gatchell is right below me. So it's me and Bob Gatchell, right? So we have almost the same exact power line, except Bob is 1 below me. And Bob bought the salve. So my power line would literally be $50 more commissionable volume than Bob's. So I would get just a little more than Bob, just a little more, because my commissionable volume for my whole power line was a little bit bigger. Does that kind of make sense? So guys, the point here is we wanted to drive some amazing, amazing launch volume, and we wanted to get somebody's feedback here.
Actually, that's me, Chris, because I wanted to throw you a little bit of a softball question. Yeah, so let's just say we've got these 12 tiers, and you qualify for 1 through 3, you qualify at 4 through 6. Now let me ask you the question. I already know the answer, but I want to hear you say it for everybody else for clarification. Does that mean that I only get the money in that tier? So let's say I sponsor 4 through 6, I'm at tier 2. Am I only getting that money, or let's say I sponsor 7 through 9, am I only locked in at tier 3, or do I get a portion from each of the tiers as I move up? How does that work?
That is an awesome question. Thank you for doing that, Seth. So if I'm in tier 7, 8, 9, right? Then I only get a piece of the compensation for tier 7, 8, 9. So there'll be a number of people that sponsored 7, 8, or 9 people into Canaway, right? My share is shared with everybody else who sponsored 7, 8, or 9. I don't get a share of 4, 5, 6 because I sponsored 7. I don't get a share of 1, 2, 3 because I sponsored 7. So you share in your tier only. Does that answer your question, Seth? All right, perfect. So guys, that's how we're launching Canaway. That's going to take us all the way through April 1st. It's going to pay out some really nice kicker bonus checks to the guys and the gals out there who help us build this amazing opportunity, right? And here's the key. March 1st, you need to get one of these amazing products. You need to lock your spot. Once you purchase one of your products, you lock your spot, your power line's in place. And I have no control over that back-end office. If it's 72 hours, boom, you get bumped and you lose that power line. You lose that whole power line. So that is the power line concept, guys. I know we went over, but I think it was worth it. We still have 563 people viewing on a Saturday night. I want to thank Billy and Bob and Charles, and I think that's Gina and Troy. And I'm going to pull up my
Mary Lou,
and
Monty.
Seth and Monty and Sugar, who is keeping me out of trouble in the Facebook group. Ladies, gentlemen, we're at the beginning of a revolution, and I am blessed and proud to be hanging out with you. Good night, everybody.
See ya.